Alright, so this is the third video in this series about the endorsement and why they called the police on me in Snohomish County. So I want to explain this as quickly as possible, and if you want to see it in more detail, just go look at my Vote for Heines blog at voteforheines.com. But basically, this started a few months ago, and the Republican Party of Washington State started putting out these things on their website that said, oh, we need what is called a precinct committee officer, right? So my wife and I started, because I wanted to get my wife, who she loves, the Republican Party, she loves Donald Trump, and I wanted to get her involved in the process. And also because I was planning on running as a congressional candidate, I was hoping at least it would help me. So we started going to these events, and we started meeting people, and we said, sure, we will be precinct committee officers. And I don't want to say guaranteed, but the person in charge of the whole thing said, oh, well, if you will be a precinct committee officer, then when we go to the state convention, then you can put yourself up as a candidate for Congress, right? And you can go for the endorsement there. And that just sounded great to me, so we signed up and we started getting involved with the precinct committee business and all that, going to meetings, talking to people, and trying to drum up support for my campaign until they had a precinct committee meeting, and this was to vote on the delegates to the King County convention, right? And so they said, come down there, and what everybody does is you'll go up and you'll give a speech, and then people will vote on whether or not they want you to represent them as a candidate or as a delegate at the caucus in King County. So yeah, we did.
Public for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I went up and I gave the speech. For me to go to King County and Spokane to serve in the White House. When I was finished with the speech, I went and I sat down, and there's a lot of people there, as you can see. And I looked at this piece of paper they were handing out, and as you can see, my wife and I were at the bottom of the list basically, and we were picked as alternates. There was not going to be any going to the King County caucuses, and there certainly wasn't going to be any going to the state convention and putting myself out as a delegate, as they told me, or as a congressional candidate at the state caucuses they told me I could do.
Matthew Heines to be a delegate in Spokane. He's a veteran and educator. I got involved in politics in 2015 when I saw my husband, Matthew Heines, making calls for then candidate Trump. And he was being trashed by whenever he made that call. And we attended the one convention or whatever you call it in Everett when President Trump was there. And I saw there how people loved him. And I love him. And I want him to win and be our president again. Thank you. My number is 22, but I want you to vote for 21. My husband.
So what I did there was I stood up and I said, we are all here to protest a rigged election, and you're rigging an election. And I just told him, I want no part of it. And when I started thinking about it, they had taken money from, we had to come to this thing. They could have just told us, look, just here's the list, vote for, why did they have to make us come down and pay money to be put on the bottom of a list? And as you can see from this picture, all the people that were actually chosen as the main delegates and who you're supposed to vote for are all friends of the people that are in the party, And so you're probably asking, well, if there's no way they're going to put Republican candidates up that are going to win, then what's the point of the Republican Party, and what do they do? I mean, what's the reason for them to even exist? It's all about the money, and it's all about fundraising. as you can see, they select candidates, and they're usually, and I don't want to degrade anybody, but they select these women that tend to be fairly attractive, but completely unqualified for what they're doing. And one example is the last Senate race where they put somebody, a blonde that looked like Sharon Stone, put old Sharon Stone up there. And what does she do? She's a nurse, and her husband got wounded in Iraq, which is a horrible thing. As a veteran, that's a horrible thing. And, you know, but because your husband got wounded in Iraq, that doesn't really qualify you to be a congressional or to be in the Senate, and it certainly doesn't qualify you for political office at the federal level. So you can make whatever conclusions you want out of this, but I'm telling you, this is exactly what happened. And what do I do now? Well, there's only one thing I can do. And that is, I'm going to put on my campaign hat, my MAGA hat. I'm going to go out and I'm going to campaign. And I'm going to ask people like you for your support. I'm going to ask people like you for your donations. Because if we send this swamp creature back to Washington, D.C., then we in the 1st Congressional District of Washington State are really, really going to be screwed with high prices, illegal immigration, and crime that is through the roof. My wife went to work the other day and there was a body laying on the side of the street. A body laying on the side of the street. So I don't care about politics. I'm not a very good politician. I just know what's right, and I know that you know what's right too. Let's make America great again. Thanks. Go to voteforheines.com, donate, watch my videos, subscribe, like, and please help us to support our President, Donald J. Trump. And we'll see you in the next video. And hopefully there will be better news. See ya.
My name is Matthew Heines. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran of the 82nd Airborne. I took the oath, and I'm here to defend my state.